Audubon 2456.
File corrupted. Beginning recovery process.
Alright! And here we are, State of the Save. But this is not normal State of the Save. And I'm not with Nick and Michael. What is going on? This is a crazy alternate world that we're living in here. This is episode 1 of our new bonus show that we announced last episode. File Corrupted. I forgot the name of my own bonus show for a second there. Where we're going to be talking about just stuff all over the world of video games. We're going to be talking about modern games, video game stuff, whatever it is, whatever we strikes our fancy. And I'm sitting here, and you're not Michael.
I'm not.
Who are you, man? What are you doing in my home?
Well, I'm Zack. You know me from work. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man.
So this is cool, man. I like
Yeah.
the setup. Very
And
cool.
reason why Zack is here today, because Zack, of all the people that I know, is the one other person that loves Doom Eternal as much as I do. And neither of my other two co-hosts were cool enough to want to just come on and talk about Doom Eternal, much less talk about the new DLC with the Ancient Gods. So I was like, Zack's my man. He's going to be on here. We're going to talk some Doom. And this is actually perfect timing, because we've been talking about doing this for a while. But Doom Eternal, we were like, hey, we'll do part 1, and then we'll come back and do part 2. And then 2 days later, they dropped part 2 on us.
Yeah.
So here we are. And now, Zack, real quick, you've already played through part 2, correct?
I did. Yes, I just beat it not even an hour before I came over here.
Okay, so today, just kind of give you guys the landmark how we plan on doing this. We're going to be focusing mostly on part 1 of the Ancient Gods, which is the big DLC plan that they had after Doom Eternal came out that really finishes up the story, I guess, is the best way.
I say it wraps it in a nice little bow.
Yeah, puts it in a bow, kind of makes it all nice. And, really kind of, to me, from what I can tell so far, I've only played through the part 1, and then obviously we're going to do something with part 2. Here's a big elaborate spoiler here. But this is almost like a sequel that they've just released in DLC form. Like, it's a complete story for Eternal, and then this seems to be a complete story for the Ancient Gods. Is that kind of a accurate way to describe this?
Yeah, I'd say so. It's a much smaller scale base game, but they still add, new enemies. Even though they're reskins, they still add interesting ideas to the combat and variety. So I'm a fan.
Yeah, man, it's good. So kind of starting off, let's start at the beginning here. So, your Doom love is more than even me. Like, you impress me sometimes with the knowledge you have about Doom. But let's kind of talk about Doom Eternal real quick before we get into the Ancient Gods. What about the Doom franchise, I guess, kind of draws you to this franchise?
Well, it actually started a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
This man, Lucas is going to come after us if
Yeah.
we start dropping these things. We'll get in trouble.
Well, don't worry. I will reference Attack of the Clones because of the Ancient Gods Part 1. So there's a method to the madness.
I'm writing down here that we're going to have to cut everything that gets me sued, all right?
Well, it's just a reference.
Okay.
My mom played Doom.
Really?
Yeah, the old 93 Doom.
Like
on
that?
PC, and we had a computer at my house. I was, 6? Definitely not really should be playing that. But on keyboard, the control key was the fire key.
Okay.
So she would let me hit the control key for her as she maneuvered through the maps.
That's a freaking, cool bonding experience. Like, this concept, okay, fire, 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 fire. And then her doing all... That's actually really cool. Like, as a dad, that's like a heartwarming thing, man.
Yes, it was quite nice. And then my dad actually... He's the first person that I knew beat Doom without cheat codes. My mom would always do cheat codes.
Yeah.
The classic IDD, QD. And
Just kind of... man, that's Doom is like a family affair in your household.
It's a family thing, man. As soon as Doom Eternal came out, my mom was like, I'll watch you play it.
That's really... Man, I did not expect to have heartwarming discussions here on this Doom episode.
Yeah, because Doom itself is not heartwarming at all.
No, there's lots of hearts that get warm. I mean, you set people on fire and stuff,
Yeah,
but
and-
not a lot of.
And you force feed the Mancubus heart to the Mancubus,
Yeah.
which is good.
You're like, take my emotions. But dude, like that's a cool kind of like origin story of your kind of love for the franchise. Like my parents played video games kind of sparingly growing up. Like my mother was like I kind of have a similar thing with like Galaga.
Okay.
So I have like a weird obsession that if there's a Galaga machine within like a half a mile of wherever I'm at, I'm going to play it. Because my earliest memories of like when my mom was younger and I was a little kid, that would be like the one game she would stop and like we would always play. So it's like it's weird how these little things stick with you that I don't even realize it until like I talk to my kid about it. Like we'll be at the arcades at Myrtle Beach or something, and it's like we're gonna spend an hour and a half of Dad just sitting here playing Galaga because it makes this warm feeling inside of him, and I'll explain it to you later. But it's funny how those like little things like that kind of connect you, and like a franchise can kind of bring you back to a place.
It's that warm feeling.
Yeah,
It's nostalgia.
Some could say it's that. Also, I appreciate that the consistency is no matter who I have on this show, they always realize Eric doesn't remember words to things. But man, so like the family story, man, that's pretty cool. And like, I would say this, like we've talked a lot about Doom over our time of knowing each other. Did that kind of continue through the whole franchise? Like, was your mom like, did she play Doom 2 with y'all? Did y'all play?
Yeah.
So y'all, this has been a franchise. It's just been kind of like a staple in your household.
Yeah. So it was kind of funny. Doom 1 was in the late 90s because I was maybe 5.
Making me feel old now, man.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember the late 90s.
Yeah. We played that and then played a little bit of Doom 2, and then I think maybe 2003, 2004, my dad got me this Gateway PC gaming computer.
Oh man!
And at the time, I was like, "This thing's awesome. This is like the best machine that would ever happen." And obviously, no, it's quite obsolete now.
Was this the ones that came in the boxes with like this isn't the one that had like the color backs to them, is it?
These are older than that.
Okay, so this is pre even the colored like.
Yeah.
When I think Gateway, I'm thinking that's Gateway. I always think of like the bright colored monitors. Is that the same company or am I completely off?
Maybe later.
Okay.
But at that point, it wasn't like that. It was just like a silver case with like a black front.
Okay.
And there's some grooves around in the middle of the front of the case, and it was kind of like a grip. I don't think I was supposed to carry it like that, but that's how I did.
It makes it very easy to like throw it across the room, all that fun stuff.
But I mean, like it was VGA, the graphics card in that thing that was top of the line then. They could put in a laptop now. Yeah,
it's your cell phones running graphics that look better than it did back then.
Yeah. But I was playing like Madden 07. I thought I was keen on that. I played Madden 07 on that thing later on.
The fact that I've never heard of somebody playing Madden on PC. Like for me, it was always a console thing,
Dude, it's weird, but Madden 07, Madden 08 are the best Maddens, and I'll fight for you on that one.
Okay,
but that's another thing.
We'll come back for Madden Cast.
But because I got a lot of shit to say.
Hey man, dude, I will do a show. Now the amount of people who listen is a side effect, but I would do a show where we just sit here and argue about the Maddens. Because like up to like 2014, 15, I was the like every year Madden guy. Like I would go and get every year and be prepared. Around 2015, I realized I was kind of getting scammed a little bit.
2015, I think that was the 25th anniversary.
Yeah,
and that's when it really just was like the same game, copy paste.
It's like
maybe they changed the color of the menus. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, but back to Doom because now we're falling down
we're falling behind.
Holes.
But so I had that computer, and then they came out with something called the Ultimate Doom, which had like the first Doom with Episode 4 added to it, which was a DLC, I guess, expansion.
Yeah.
Die Flesh Consumed, the worst, but.
The freaking coolest name
name, and then but the first couple missions, especially in Ultraviolence, are just oh my gosh, like there's like invisible walls that you can't see the demons, but they sure as shit can see you,
that's the thing people don't really think about. I know we're focusing on Eternal, but we're going to lay the groundwork here. Like, even I've been going back and playing Doom 64 recently, because those connections between Doom and Doom Eternal and Doom 64, weirdly enough, and it was the one that I never played because I didn't have a Nintendo 64.
Well, everyone thought it was like a remaster of the already made Ultimate Doom. Like they thought it was another port, so no one really cared about it.
Yeah, if you would have asked me maybe before the Doom Eternal stuff came out that made me go back and, like, people were talking about, hey, man, Doom 64 has connections here, I just ran off the assumption it was Doom just for the Nintendo 64. But that thing continues. Like, I've been playing it kind of off and on because I've been doing stuff for this show and for the regular show. But that thing still can kick you in the balls. Like,
yeah, dude.
Like, I'm on the 8th mission, I believe. The 8th or 9th mission. And, like, it just starts off with, hey, man, there's Barons of Hell. There's
a Hell Knight over here.
There's, like, 8 shotgun guys right from the get-go. And it reminds you, like, hey, man, these games were always hard. Mm-hmm. Like, all the talk about Doom Eternal being this very difficult game, and it is a freaking... We're going to get some hate for how we had to finish the Ancient Gods. We're prepared for that.
The Doom community is just going to tell us to get good, and I believe that. I need to get better, but we're on a time crunch. We had to
get this done for this show, okay? Yeah. I agree that we need to get good. I'm going to continue to practice, but...
It's an art.
It's dude...
It is a freaking art.
It's an art, but it's also... There's moments in this thing, like, I get motion sickness a little bit. Video games usually do not trigger this in me. But there was a portion in the later part of the first Ancient Gods DLC where I literally started to get nauseous because I was swinging around as quick. I usually play my sensitivity on old man sensitivity. I have old man hands and I can't move as fast as, I don't got pro gamer moves anymore. And I had this thing jacked up to the best I could just to try to track some of these guys. And I was literally, between the flashes and the movement speed, was getting nauseous because I was just trying my damnedest to beat this thing. And I was on, at the time, Ultra Violence. And I'll live up to it. I didn't finish this DLC on Ultra Violence at all. I can tell you on each mission when I had to jump off of Ultra Violence. I'll go ahead and tell you I had to jump this thing all the way down to, what is it? The easiest difficulty is what? Hurt me plenty or don't hurt me?
I'm too young to die.
I'm too young to die. That's how I finished the Ancient Gods. So go ahead and send your emails in to stateofthesave@gmail.com. I will answer your emails. You can send me all your hate you want. But
or send them tips.
Yeah, you can send me tips. No, because, dude, I asked for that one time. We did Grim Fandango, and we were talking about having to play it with using a guide occasionally, because that's like an old LucasArts adventure game. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hey man, figure out that the scissors go into the paper shredder, and then it'll cause a spark 2 blocks away. They'll set a parade float on fire, but you gotta talk to the clown first so he'll move away from the thing.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's obvious. But
why wouldn't you do that?
And we talked about that, hey, we had to use a guide occasionally because, dude, it's 2021. No one's got time to figure that out. And I got like a diatribe sent to me about why, we were offending the machine spirit of Grim Fandango, whatever it was.
I love that.
Man, but yeah, so please, you can send me your hate mail, but don't send me the tip videos. I've watched them and they've not helped me at all yet.
Well, I will say this: there's a way to bully the Marauder. That's not the shotgun ballista combo.
Because that's the combo I try to use.
Yeah, share your tips on how to beat a Marauder, because there are many tips of people.
I try to do what I think is like right now the meta. Let's just jump in. We're in Doom Eternal talk now.
We're here. We're doing it.
My meta for beating the Marauder is using the double barrel shotgun with the ballista. Trying to hit him on the initial shot with the ballista, switch to the double barrel, and then switch back and try to get another shot in with the ballista. 9 times out of 10, I only get the first 2 off because I'm not fast enough or I don't track as well to get that third one off. In the main campaign of Doom Eternal, I was able to do it consistently pretty easily.
Yeah.
But that's because usually you're facing the Marauder by himself. You can focus all your attention on him, and that's all you gotta do. In the DLC, he's almost never alone. So even if he's by himself, you've usually got at least some the guys with the shields and the shotguns, or you've got sometimes there's 2 Marauders, or if you do
you got the Baron jumping around.
You got the Baron of Hell jumping around, or if you do the Slayer Gate, he's just with everybody else. And so I'm not able to focus just on him, and usually I can't get the third shot off. But now that's my strategy. What is your strategy for killing the Marauder?
Honestly, basically the same. I've mastered the shotgun ballista combo. I can get 3 shots off.
Oh man, that's skill level is significantly higher than me on that.
Not by much.
Not by much. Okay.
Not by much, but yeah. I mean, to me, there's a couple of other ways where people can like spam grenades and get lucky, and I haven't been able to do that yet.
When it comes to the grenade stuff, like the grenades are literally like I don't think they ever stay off a cooldown for me, because just the moment I have them, I shoot. Like I'm never not shooting a grenade. Same thing with the flamethrower. I don't care what's in front of me. If I have that thing off a cooldown, it's burning.
Yeah.
Because this game does such a good job, and I know it's a cliche. Let's talk about the combat. Just to kind of jump into this. It's a cliche to say that it's like a chess game. But the reason why it's a cliche is because it's accurate. Like, I feel like it does that whole combat rotation of, glory kills for health, ammunition with the chainsaw,
armor with the
flames. Yep. It does that so well. And one thing when I was playing through the Ancient Gods, because I haven't been playing Eternal since I beat the campaign the first time. Like, I beat the campaign. I think I played around a little bit with that multiplayer mode, which I don't get the appeal of.
To be fair, there's not much appeal to it at all. I've never heard anything about it, good or bad.
You go on like the subreddit, and like no one talks about the multiplayer mode. Like everyone's talking about the ultra violent runs, or they're talking about the trying to get the cool skins and stuff.
Yeah.
Like no one's. And that was the same thing with Doom 2016. Like I don't know anybody who played. I played the multiplayer, I think, just for like they did a beta.
They did a snap map for Doom 2016 that was really popular, but other than that, they didn't. No one really talked about the multiplayer. Honestly, I forgot they had one.
It was a big thing, man. They did a beta. And I remember like getting into the beta and being like, "Wow, this is kind of disappointing." And it put
a lot of people were disappointed.
It put me on like a sour note for the game, because that was my first like playing experience. I had seen the trailers. I'm like, "Damn, Doom, freaking Doom, man!" But I played the beta. I was like, "Wow, this looks like a kind of a crappy version of like a team deathmatch for an Unreal Tournament or something like that." And when I finally got into the game and started, getting the experience of playing it, I was like, man, I don't know why this would be your first foot forward. I would have done something kind of like they did with the original Doom, where like, hey, let's just put a demo out with that first level.
Yeah.
Because
it killed.
You think about that first level of how, from the breaking yourself off the slab, and that thing kicks you right in the teeth right from the get-go. That would have been a great way. I mean, obviously, Doom didn't have any problems getting their name out there, but it would have a great way to drive hype of just like, hey, man, Doom's freaking back, and it's freaking ball. Check it out. Instead of like, hey, let's just do team deathmatch.
Well, was that Bethesda kind of pushing that? Was that like...
I don't know. Like, my gut would say... my gut would say yes, but you gotta think, like, it wasn't exactly on a great high before Doom.
What did they have, like Rage?
They had Rage, the first one, which I don't think that was, I thought it was okay.
A couple Quake games too, I think.
Yeah, but they had that was around the time they were doing the online Quake Online or something. It was just basically like a free to play Quake, and I think Doom 2016 comes out before Wolfenstein. I
believe you're correct. I think Wolfenstein may have showed up in 2017.
Yeah, so I mean, you're looking at kind of their renaissance here, but I could see somebody at Bethesda or somebody even at id like, hey, multiplayer's the hot thing right now. It's 2016. All the kids are playing the Call of Duties. Get out there, show us some team deathmatch or something. I could see that, but it was not the right way to market that thing at all.
You want to hear something very interesting about Doom 2016? Because you just mentioned Call of Duty. It was actually going to be a Call of Duty-like shooter initially. and there's concept art, and it looked bad. It
Dude,
looked really bad.
If you guys haven't had the opportunity, you can go on YouTube and look up like the original. I want to say it's almost like a trailer. If not, it's part of a trailer, and it has a little bit of combat footage, and it looks like Rage.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
Around
it looks
the same
like
time,
Rage.
so makes
It's
sense.
the same dark. Everything's brown. Everything looks kind of like a post-apocalyptic. And you think about it, it kind of makes sense if you ride the train of thought from Doom 3 to that. Because Doom 3 is like the redheaded stepchild now of Doom, but I
It's
can
also
see
the only one not canon.
Yeah, it's not canon, but still doesn't mean that I don't have like a weird spot in my heart for it. Like it's like the using the Star Wars reference. It's like they had all these comics from Dark Horse before Star Wars got bought by Disney, and they're all like labeled like legends, right? And it basically means like none of that shit happens. But it's still like when I come across those now, like it's like, oh man, look at this crazy story where like Luke Skywalker was possessed by the Emperor and stuff like that. And it makes it even kind of cooler that it's not legend. It's not canon. But you can make an argument that made sense to go from Doom 3, that kind of like slow plotting horror kind of game, to that. But I'm so the world's a different place if they decided not to, make this thing a fast-paced Doom game and go back to the drawing board there. But it is fascinating to watch. Like watching those trailers and seeing those concept arts, you can just tell like some guy spent a lot of time working on that thing that got canned, and no one's like sitting there pining for that game. It's not like Star Wars Battlefront 3, the original release of that. Like people are like, oh man, if that got released, EA would have been the greatest thing ever. No one's sitting around being like, if only they stuck to the original plan for Doom. But dude, man, like that freaking that we would have lived in. Who knows what reality we lived in if that was the Doom.
A bad one. That's
Or is this the bad one, man?
Nah.
You sure? Maybe like we would have had like one bad. That would have been all the negative energy of the world would have went into that one Doom, and then everything else should be like. Da, 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 da.
See, that's an interesting question. Would you trade like would you get rid of COVID for like better Doom games?
Trade COVID for Doom? I'm not answering that question on the internet.
That's pretty controversial.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. We're gonna jump away. I can see it now. Headline on IGN. Podcast says Doom better than COVID.
Well, it is better.
It's better than COVID, but yeah, I would have kept Doom for COVID. Nah, I ain't doing that.
I wouldn't change the timeline. I just watched Back to the Future recently, and I'm not messing with that.
No, we ain't messing with that. All right, let's get into this Doom Eternal here. Like, for the Ancient Gods in particular, let's kind of focus on the Ancient Gods because that's the hotness going on right now. After Doom Eternal, I saw that they had the season pass that was released alongside Doom Eternal. I think I bought the collector's edition, so I had that. There was such a large gap where they didn't talk about anything, and because I didn't care about the multiplayer, I was like, okay, crap, they're just going to support this battle mode stuff, and I'm not going to care about it. And Doom Eternal kind of wraps up in a very final way. Like, you kill the Icon of Sin, you rescue Earth from its demonic invasion, and because Doom 2016 had a story, but it was not the focal point, and Doom Eternal kind of really is when they expand into the Doom lore, I guess is the best way of putting it.
100%, yeah.
I kind of took it as, okay, we're done. And I was like, hey, I don't see where you go from here. You beat the Icon of Sin, Doom guys, hero of Earth, here we go. But I think the Ancient Gods does a really cool thing of kind of jumping into like, hey, these are the cleanup effects. It kind of pitches it almost as a cleanup.
Yeah.
When you go in there. Doom guys helping the UAC do kind of finishing up the demons that are on Earth, but also Hayden plays a huge role in this whole game, which is weird because in Doom 2016, he was just like the voice in your head most of the time.
He was the guy that kind of guided you along, him and Vega.
And he was almost really designed for kind of a comedic effect, because he would tell you like, yeah, be cautious with this this artifact, don't,
And you will destroy
and
it.
you just break it, and he'd be like, okay, well, you guess you can do that too. Him being like the main focal point of this Ancient Gods DLC is kind of, it took me back. I was kind of feeling like I missed something there. So I'm gonna ask you some questions, because you're my Doom guy now. All right. So in Doom 2016, Hayden is just the scientist that's running the Mars facility, correct?
Yeah.
And then when we see him again in Eternal, he's basically the head guy leading the defense of Earth. There's a lot of like the story packets that you pick up where he's leading the UAC like defense, and there's multiple like times where he fails, and he basically is destroyed before Doom Guy shows up on Earth.
Right.
Is there any reference ahead of the Ancient Gods to him being connected to the kind of pantheon stuff,
Like to all the gods?
To all the gods. Is that something that just starts here, or did I miss something in Eternal?
I think it was on the Urdak level of the base game of Doom Eternal. When you do something with Vega, I haven't played it in so long. I can't. Don't crucify me, internet.
Yeah.
But basically, you shut down Vega again, kind of similar to 2016. But before he did that, he backed him up.
Yeah.
But in Doom Eternal, as he was kind of like short circuiting, I guess, he was like, "Am I the father, Dr. Hayden?" And I was like, "Oh shit."
So that's when you get, because that's something.
Yeah, you kind of, and Hayden's knowledge of Urdak makes sense, because when he's discovered to be the Seraphim in Doom Eternal, it's like, oh, duh.
It does make sense, because one thing that I kind of always took Hayden as just being like the leading expert, and that's maybe me not looking deep enough into it. Well, when it does the big reveal that he's the Seraphim, it took me like 100% off guard, because I just assumed like, hey, this guy's just the expert. That's why he knows about Urdak, and he knows about like the Night Sentinels and all this stuff. But I really appreciate that was the one. If you look at the story of Doom Eternal, Hayden's the one kind of leftover thread that they don't touch at all. Mm-hmm. Because Vega, before we get into the father stuff and all that, he's gone. Like, we feel like he's been eliminated from the story. The only two people that are left after Eternal is Doom Guy and Hayden. So it makes sense that that's like the last thing to touch. But I didn't see that one coming, and that might just be me not picking up on the threads there. I also, so much of the story of Eternal, because the lore is actually really freaking deep.
Yeah,
is buried in those text files that you find, and it's one of those things that if you're looking for it, you're going to have a good time learning about all this stuff, but you can breeze past all that stuff.
That's what my favorite part about Doom Eternal is, if you're more of a gameplay kind of guy, you can do that, and who cares about the story? But if you're the kind of guy that wants a narrative, that you want some sort of reason as to why you're killing all these demons, you can seek that out too. And it's fun to seek it out, because the secrets are challenging but not unfindable.
They're not like they're not like Dark Souls or something where you're like having to do like a crazy sequence of events. A lot of time you just do more platforming to get to them. And to be honest with you, to me, that's the only real way to play this game, because like I'm traditionally kind of a gameplay guy, and so all this secret encounters, all the Slayer Gate keys, like that stuff's all buried also in searching for stuff. So you're going to find the lore just by looking for Slayer Gate keys or looking for the secret encounters, or
just a supercharge.
Yeah, or
because
just
in the Ancient Gods, I was seeking out health packs. In the base game, I never worried about health packs. I'll just chainsaw this guy. I'll be fine. But in Ancient Gods, I was getting hit from all sides, man.
Dude, you'll take damage in the Ancient Gods. Like, you go into it with pretty much the buffed up Slayer. Like, it doesn't. The only thing you don't have.
You're maxed out.
Yeah, the only thing
support runes.
Yeah. The only thing you don't have is the Crucible, the sword.
Right.
That's the only thing you go into it without.
I didn't even really use the Crucible anyway, because I always been like, oh, I'll save it for the. you just never use it.
It's the issue with like any video game that has like a rocket launcher, except Doom promotes you to use the rocket launcher. But most video games, it's like, hey, here's the rocket launcher. You get 4 rockets, and I will go the entire game without firing it once because I'm always convinced I'm going to need it eventually. So it's like, I'll save it for the boss.
Yeah.
Or I'll save it for the there's going to be a section where there's a tank or something. Like, one of my favorite franchises is Resident Evil. And with the recent remakes, any of like the power weapons, I'll just hoard. And then I'll get to the last mission and realize that I've held on to like 20, grenade launcher rounds. Mm-hmm. And it's like, dude, I could have used all of these to get here, but I'm just paranoid.
You hit an interesting point, and I'm going to really drive this home with Doom Eternal. What makes Doom Eternal, Doom 2016, so great, in my opinion, and why a lot of casual gamers don't seem to like it? Because when it came out, game journalists were like, it's too hard.
Oh, yeah. If you watch, like, the IGN footage.
Yeah.
Where it's like...
They just didn't get it. But that's what Doom Eternal is so great, is it forces you to use your entire arsenal. And if you don't, you'll get punished for it.
Yeah, there's not a single fight, especially when you're getting into, like, the Slayer gates, or you're getting into the sections where it corners you in a room to fight multiple waves of enemies. There's not a single fight that I don't think I used every single weapon in my weapon wheel. Because the game also does a wonderful job of explaining to you each and every kind of advantage each weapon has against certain demons. So, like, even, like, you think in, like, normal Doom, you get, like, the super shotgun. I generally don't go back to the regular shotgun once I get the super shotgun. But here, with the attachments, I got to keep that regular shotgun ready because I can use that to kill the cacodemons. Mm-hmm. And I can use the grenade launcher.
That's another thing I really love about it is the very first shotgun is still relevant in the hardest DLC.
The automatic fire capable part, like the attachment for the auto fire on the shotgun, is like a hell of a way to beat some of the buffed enemies because you can just dump all your shells into like the spirit enemies that have the ghost,
kind of like the empowered demons, but like way
they don't take damage as much from a super shotgun as normal.
Right.
So you it makes you go back to your normal shotgun using the automatic shotgun feature or using that on the empowered demons. Like the fact that every single weapon, none of them becomes the assault rifle. Like you get the chain gun, you're like, okay, why would I ever go back to this regular like heavy gun?
Bolt.
That precision bolt is the best way to take out the turret enemies that pop up in this, which is the only enemy I don't like that they try to introduce. There's a fight in the second level in the Blood Swamps where you are dealing with the Marauder and one turret. And I never had time to turn around and hit the damn turret because I got this Marauder chasing my ass from the whole get-go. So once we get in it, let's break this down. We've got 3 parts in the Ancient Gods. We're just going to go through each one.
Yeah, man.
That sounds good?
Sure.
Sounds good. Let's do it. Our first kind of introduction level, and this was my get back into Doom level because I've been gone for a little while, is the UAC facility, which might be the best. It is probably the best level in this entire DLC.
It is 100%. The atmosphere, the setting is beautiful. And this is the Attack of the Clones reference. It reminds me of Camino.
It really, yeah, because he's even got like the platforms that are busted out away from it, where you've got the little platforms like floating around and stuff. It is Camino, but also, you playing this on PC?
No, I have Doom 2016 on PC and have it on Xbox, but then I got Doom Eternal for PlayStation 4. Funny story, I went to GameStop the day it came out. I was like, I need Doom Eternal, Xbox One, PC gamers, don't hate me.
Well, dude, we're long past them hating us, man. Like, we're recording this right now, but somewhere out in the world, there's a guy typing an email already.
I know. Well, I mean,
controversy makes cash.
A lot of people think playing Doom on console is blasphemous, and as someone who played Doom initially on PC, at least I have that.
Yeah, you can defend yourself. Like I used to do it. It's the I don't have that argument. I just have to be like, yeah, I know I'm a filthy casual. I get it, okay?
Yeah, I'm a casual. I'm a noob.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal, I just can't move on a keyboard like that anymore, like I used to. I used to play a lot of Battlefield and stuff.
Yeah, well, you can't. It's it's just what you're comfortable with. I mean, we ain't gonna defend ourselves against the internet, man. You can't scare us.
I'm defending myself against the Doom community. Okay. Lovely people though. Don't
Yeah, high quality.
But they will call you out. Like, why aren't you playing on PC? What? You could be better.
I came across somebody on YouTube who was saying that we should never trust anybody's opinion that did not beat Doom Eternal on Nightmare.
Well, our opinions are invalid.
Yeah, so we apparently do not matter. You can go ahead and move on along, but
or don't.
No, please don't. Listen. You can hate us, but just listen to the episode.
We're talking about music, gameplay, content.
Yeah, we're explaining stuff. We're not all skilled guys. But this whole facility, man. Okay, we skipped your story. What happened at the GameStop?
Oh yeah, they were like, we don't have any copies on Xbox, and I started panicking because like that was our day of work where we had the half a day.
Oh yeah, it was like
and
a Friday.
It was like that whole weekend I had set aside to play Doom Eternal, so I started panicking because it looked like a game I didn't want to try on PC first.
Yeah, I can see
it looked complicated.
Yeah.
So I was like, I started panicking. I was like, do you have any copies for PlayStation 4? He's like, well, I got one. I said, give it.
So I will come across that desk right now. Give me the damn copy of Doom.
I think I scared the guy. Wherever you are, GameStop man. Thank you for your patience.
We have a long history on this show of hating the GameStop, so we don't apologize to the day. Okay.
Okay.
There's a story.
Fuck GameStop.
Yeah, fuck GameStop. Michael got fucked over by the GameStop really bad. So like we are on the GameStop shit list as it is. No matter what you can say, they will. You by associating with us now are on the shit list for GameStop. Just next time you walk in there, they're just gonna be like, "Get the fuck out of here, man!"
Are you from state to state?
Yeah, you're gonna
get out of here. Well,
Um,
I will say before we continue, Matt's Game Exchange in Greensboro, North Carolina, is a great local place.
Yeah, they're very.
And
also,
McKay's is a great local place. Check it out.
which is surprising because I've only been in there like once, but they have a ton of stuff. Like, yeah, it's high quality. These are very local references.
Very local.
Yeah,
but wherever you are, try to go to your local game places. For sure.
It really bums me out. There used to be a place in my hometown called Rhinos Games, I believe.
I remember.
Yeah. And that was where we went as a kid. Like, my dad was very big about like supporting local businesses and stuff. He's like, screw the big corporate Funko land. We ain't going to the big corporate Funko land. We'll go to Rhinos Games. And they had comics and stuff. It was cool. Yeah. But they were only open for like, I think 2-3 years before they went under or something like that. Support your local places. Buy your Doom products from local. But
buy local.
So, one thing with this new facility, this kind of first intro into Doom, is it does a great job. One, it looks freaking beautiful.
Amazing.
Like, the reason why I asked why you played it on, because I'm playing this thing on a baseline Xbox One. You're playing it on a PS4. And it looks gorgeous. Like,
it plays well too. I didn't get any skips, bugs, or anything like that.
With the rain, like if you look at the weapons, like I was looking at the super shotgun for like unhealthy amount of time, and I was just like watching how the rain like is on the weapons, and as you switch them, it still pops up. Like it doesn't do like a pop in on any of the weapons. Like when you switch them, it just brings it up as if it's already wet and stuff. It looks really really cool, and this is a great level to kind of reintroduce yourself to Doom because, like I said, I've been away for a while. It's not got a ton of the environmental stuff that like damages you, like you're going to face and further on down this DLC.
Which is why this is the best map in the DLC.
Yeah, as we go here, these other two are hurt by the fact that the environment just decides to kill you on a constant basis. But it does a great job of like warming you back up. But then by the time you're done with it, there's a fight in which you're locked in a room with 2 Marauders that then goes into a fight with like 2 Hell Knights. I think there's a Cyber Demon in that room. So it doesn't give you a ton of time. This is also where it gives you the least amount of the platforming. Now, where do you fall on the platforming stuff? Because I know that's the big controversy. I actually kind of like the platforming stuff, to be honest with you.
Well, at first I was frustrated with it, right? But as because Doom Eternal took what Doom 2016 did with platforming and just went to unimaginable lengths. I didn't even think that's how it was going to be, and it's so great. I was very frustrated at first with the platforming, but I got good.
You got good, man.
I got good, and it's so satisfying to make a platform run on your first go.
I get the hate. Like, there's a lot of hate, but the game doesn't punish you very much for failing at it. Like, it literally takes like
5 health,
10
health.
Yeah, it's not much. And then when you actually pull it off and you get the sequence down on right, man, it feels freaking great. It feels like you're a daggum superhero. Like, especially when you're coming out of a fight and then you do a platforming sequence to go into another fight. Because you get that awesome moment of like falling from the sky, firing your chain gun as you're coming down on top of the demons. Like,
my favorite moment I ever did in an arena is I took one of those poles and swung off of it, did like a 360, and then ballisted this imp, and then as I was going down, I rocket locked the tyrant, or the proper term, cyber demon.
Yeah.
And he went in glory kill mode, and then as I landed on his face,
Dude,
it was awesome.
Like, the amount of cool glory kills that happen from falling. So if you trigger them when you're coming down off of like the monkey bars kind of things, or you're jumping off of, just jumping off of a platform and dashing, like just coming down and stomping a guy's head. Like, if the platforming stuff took away a significant portion of health, or it did some actual damage to you, I would get it. But when it's only taking 5 and it's reloading you back onto the same spot practically, I don't really get that vibe of why that's such a controversial thing. I dig it.
And honestly, I like the platforming. It's a nice break from the constant barrage of demons.
I mean, there's portions in this game where you get the sweaty hands, man. Like, I actually wiping my hands off my hands. Like, I was like, just give me like 2 minutes to jump around some flying platforms. But this whole section in the UAC facility it's the visually kind of the most similar to Eternal, because it's just another UAC facility, just a nice looking one. But it's a great kind of welcome back, and then it obviously ends with the kind of big Marauder fight. And then from story mode, this is when we gain access to the Seraphine's body, which is what Hayden kind of takes possession of, correct?
If I'm not mistaken, I believe you get the life sphere.
Oh, you get the life sphere,
which is like his essence, I suppose. It's the thing that grants him a physical body.
Yeah, it basically brings him into our reality, I guess.
Yeah, because right now Hayden's consciousness is in that robot.
Yeah. So
when he does that, and then he comes back as his actual body, the Seraphim, because he was the assistant, I think, to the father, who was Vega, and Vega's life sphere was
at this point,
I don't know if it was destroyed yet. I think you do destroy one of them.
It's destroyed, but it's now sitting, because that's where we come to at the end of the second level, where we pick between bringing back the father and bringing back the Dark Lord.
That's it.
Which is all like, I mean, all this is like biblical references and stuff, so like, it's Bible 2.0. It's like,
with a lot of guns.
We're gonna write the Bible, but we're gonna make it badass. So like, here's God, but God's like a freaking ripped robot guy, and here's devil, but he's like a ripped version of Doomslayer,
which is super cool. But we'll get into that.
Yeah,
we'll get into.
I mean, if you want to, if id Software wants to rewrite the Bible, like release like Bible 2.0, that just like, and then the coming of the Doomslayer is just the opening. The meme with Homer where he just quotes the Doom lines. I don't know if you've seen this. I think he just runs in and he's like, it's a scene from The Simpsons where he runs in and grabs Bart and he's screaming into Bart's face, but they just took the opening lines of Doom 2016, like the first like in the Dark Age before the and they just put that there.
That sounds
if you
good.
can just open up Bible 2.0 and that's how it starts, I'm sold, man.
That'd be great.
Be charged every Sunday. Every Sunday.
For us to talk about Doom, we're about 45 minutes in, and we haven't touched on one of the most important things of Doom since its creation.
Okay.
That's the soundtrack.
Freaking dude, you want to talk about how many times I've walked through the grocery store listening to this soundtrack? Like, this is
Probably unhealthy amount of time.
oh, it's unhealthy. You have not lived until you've shopped at the Publix and like had this pumping thing going through the back of your head and just be like, I just want to punch a freaking demon, man. It's like we're just walking through the nice, peaceful Publix. Everybody's happy-go-lucky at the Publix, and you're just like, it's time to rage, all right?
Yeah.
We're gonna kickstart some shits.
It's good. And I don't know if you noticed, but the composer for the Ancient Gods was different than the one in the base game, who was Mick Gordon.
Gordon, I believe there was some controversy there because I know when Doom Eternal came out, they didn't even release Mick Gordon's soundtrack,
like his true raw
cut when it came out, which was a big thing because like,
well, that was the whole point. That was 2016. I'm telling you, the soundtrack was as important as the gameplay.
Oh yeah, dude, that soundtrack was on. I think it came out the same day that Doom 2016 came on, and I think I listened to that thing at the gym 4 days a week for at least 3 months. Like, and that's not me being like, just hyperbole. No, dude, it was legitimately that good too, because it's not even like just good video game music.
It's just good music.
Just good metal. Like, it's good technical metal, and
with a twist.
And he did such a great job of taking those original themes and walking them into the soundtrack. Though it was never like a rip of it, right? You didn't like sit there and be like, oh, he's just doing the Doom music in really good sounding guitars. Like, he would just weave it into his music, and then it would weave back out, weave it back in. So, and it worked so well in the game itself because there'll be moments where you would into a hallway and a fight would start, and the drop in the music would kick in the millisecond that wall came up that blocks your path. And even here, like, one of my first notes here is that shotgun pump, because they do the same thing they do in the opening of Doom Eternal, where it kicks the music with the shotgun pump.
Yeah.
And it fills you full of just badass energy.
They also did it in Doom 2016 when you're in the elevator and Hayden was like, we did what we had to do, and things got out of hand, and he glanced at the dead body, and then he just clenched his fist in anger, and then he just pumped the shotgun in, and boom.
Also,
kicked in, man.
From a visual point of view, that's when you're coming up out of the elevator and you see Mars
for the first
time, and you see like the Hell incursion on Mars. And the Doom franchise does such a freaking baller job of just kicking in that adrenaline of just being like, and here we fucking go.
I'm for it.
We are fucking go, man. One thing that after we come out of the UAC facility and we get Hayden into his true form, this is when Hayden kind of gives us what is the driving mission at this point, that we're going to go retrieve the essence of the Father.
To bring the Father back, yes.
Because he's the only one who can like seal off Ardak and prevent demons from continuing to kind of flood in.
Right, and it was at this point when it became increasingly more evident that Hayden was in it for himself.
It makes a lot more sense at this point because, like in Doom Eternal, I actually liked Hayden. Like, I thought he was like, oh yeah, he screwed up on Mars, but then he came. You didn't trust him?
I didn't trust him,
dude, man. I actually fell for it because there was like. This is how easy Eric can get bought into things. There's a text file, right? And it's a long one that talks about Hayden leading this like elite squad of UAC troops and like the best of the best that Earth has against the Gore Nest.
No.
You know, in Eternal, that's like my favorite mission, but it's also like. So and when you get to the Gore's Nest, you see like all these mechs and stuff that are taken down. But it basically describes the battle and how Hayden like led from the front lines and was like, G.I. Joe of Earth out there fighting, all the demons. And at that point, I kind of bought into him. Like, this guy's a freaking badass robot man out here leading the Earth's defense. And like all those tech files about him talk about like he's at like the initial organizing, like the evacuation of people from demon-infested zones, and like he's a hero. But then in this one mission right here, it twists it all into like, yeah, he's still doing it for himself.
Yeah, because the Seraphim's body looks an awful lot like the makers of Urdak.
Oh, it's like just a palette swap almost.
Right, and when he gets his final form, is obviously, I guess, Urdakian. I don't know what the proper term is,
well,
but of course he's trying to make it better for him.
Yeah, he's fighting the same conflict he was fighting millennia ago.
Right.
And Arth's kind of defense was just convenient at the time.
It was convenient at the time because he knew that he would end up getting his body back.
Yeah, he's like, if I help these guys, then I can beat off this demon incursion and play this the Doom guy or Doom Slayer, into giving me what I want. I'll get what I want out of this. I'll be able to gain kind of access to the life force of the Father, because he also talks about, particularly in this second mission, he can't go into the blood swamps and get it. Right. It's against the prophecies that he can do that. So it's not like he can do this without the Doom Slayer. So in this whole time, he's just playing the Doom Slayer, and he's dealing with this conflict that Arth's kind of play in it is so minuscule to him.
Minute. Doesn't matter. And you can tell that he has since 2016, he had a very blatant disregard for human life. Yeah, even from the very first opening in Doom 2016, he just said, look, we did what we had to do. People died, so what?
They play it in Doom 2016, and I would love to know if this was the plan or not, because they play it in Doom 2016 as he's... like, it's an energy thing, right? They do the whole, like, we need the Argent.
Yes.
Argent energy to power Arth's kind of needs. That's why we did this. It was entirely just to siphon off the energy out of hell. I'm just an evil version of Elon Musk. But here it's like, no, he's playing everybody because this is this grander scheme, and that's why I would love to know, like, was this the plan from the get-go, or did they just say, hey, we have Hayden. Hayden survives the events of Doom 2016. Let's go ahead and morph him into something bigger. Because you can make parallels that, like, hey, he's been like this the whole time.
Right.
But I just wonder if that was retcon. Like, this is, like, the comic fan in me. Was, like, you read a lot about, like, the creation of, like, Captain America and stuff like that. And, like, how much of that was just figured out on the fly. Like, we're, like, 10 issues in. And then we're, like...
Or The Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, Walking Dead was supposed to end in, like, issue 20 or something. And he's like, we'll just keep going.
He's like, I didn't think I'd get this far, guys. Let's just start killing off all your favorite characters.
Let's just kill off all your favorite characters. But I wonder how much of that was planned ahead. But now that he's got his body, he sends you into the blood swamps.
The worst map I've ever played in any Doom. Any Doom, Eric.
It kills me, too, because I really enjoy...
I love the atmosphere.
Yeah, it looks great. It's probably my favorite-looking mission in Doom.
But I've played a lot of shitty maps, okay? That one is... that's definitely one of my least favorites. I mean, obviously, it's a lot better than, like, the Slough of Despair, which was in Ultimate Doom. A lot of people know that one. Yeah. It's a map that's shaped like a hand. It's dog shit. I played it again the other night, and I absolutely hate it. I still hate it to this day.
You think about, like, the blood swamps in particular. The reason why I hate it is becomes the running theme of this whole DLC, is that it's entirely environmental damage, and in a game where you're taking so much damage as it is, that little bitty extra push a lot of times was getting me killed.
It wasn't really the deciding factor that got me killed, I will say that, but me just trying to walk up the stairs and do a platforming bit, and the stupid plant pods that kept exploding and hurting me, I'm just like, why are you here? Why? One
thing I wanted to we'll make a little segment here. I played on Ultra Nightmare to start this. I got all the way to the dual Marauder fight. I beat the Marauders on Ultra Nightmare after like maybe 10 deaths.
Impressive.
And then I got to realized that I didn't get to leave that room after that fight, and got my ass kicked for another 5 to 6 times, I believe. And at that point, I had to drop all the way down to the easiest difficulty just to be able to finish that mission. So, feeling like I could regain my pride, blood swamps pop up. right back up to Ultra Nightmare. Oh, Ultra Violence. Ultra Violence, sorry, not Ultra Nightmare. Right back up to Ultra Violence, and then I get all the way to the point in which I have to fight in the fog, and then we go right back down. Because that's what we're talking about with this Blood Swamps is not only are there the pods that hurt you, there's a section in this in which you fight I believe a possessed arachnid demon. Arachnotron.
Yeah.
You fight a possessed one of those, and then they throw a Doom Hunter, and you cannot see shit. You can't see anything. And in an entire game about trying to play the right weapon against the right demon at the right time and constant movement, I felt like I was playing a version like a Call of Duty mission where everybody was just throwing smoke grenades.
Oh no!
I just couldn't see anything, and like I would be taking fire, especially from like the Doom Hunter, where he'd be like shooting the missiles at me. I couldn't even tell where they were coming from because I'm just in this fog and there's no like area to get in and out of it where you can kind of back up and bait him out of it. And I was dying left and freaking right in that fog. And that was where I eventually broke, where I was like, man, I had 68 total deaths. I was one death off of the nice number.
Yeah.
For this entire DLC for these 3 missions. And I think at this point I got up to like 30. I think I told you that day I was like at like 36 or 37 because I was just dying repeatedly in that fog. For a mission that looks so good, all of this environmental stuff just threw me off because it made me not play Doom the way Doom teaches you to play it, where you're able to, navigate the environment, weave in and out of combat, attack, back up. I was playing by a more like stationary role because I was the whole time just trying to find where the damn things are. And
you got to keep jumping, man. Even if you can't see him. I'm at that point. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was the worst. At that point in the campaign, I just started bunny hopping and just rockets.
I killed myself, I think, twice in that also by rockets, by like not being aware how close to the wall I was, and like blowing myself up by one rocket.
I will say the splash damage of rockets are significantly worse in like the classic Doom games. So often I'd peek my head out of the corner, shoot a rocket at a Baron or something, and then fucking Lost Soul catches a rocket right in front of my face, and I die.
It's the worst way to go. Like here you're playing the badass Doom Hunter, Doom Slayer, and you just die because you shot a rocket into 2 feet in front of you. But
it's a way to go, man.
Yeah, it's a way. If you're gonna go out that way. The one thing I do like about this mission is there's a part where you get the I call him Ghost Dog, but you get the Ghost Dog and he's guiding you through the
trials, right?
Yeah, the trials. When you do that, I actually feel like that worked better because it opens up the kind of area in which you're clearly seeing, and they threw the right amount of enemies and the right kind of enemies in each one of those trials. They didn't like throw a ton of stuff in there that you didn't face like a cyber demon because it's such a small area that would be frustratingly difficult to try to back in and out of.
Just wait till part 2.
Are you telling me that I'm just gonna?
You're gonna be so upset. No,
okay. Thank you for now. I'm gonna go into part 2 the whole time, being like, I know it's in here. I know this motherfucking cyber demon. I'm going to like a bathroom stall, and there's gonna be a cyber demon in there.
It's gonna be like the troll from like Harry Potter in the bathroom.
There's like a cyber demon sitting there waiting. You know how like in every any horror video game you play, there's like a bathroom, and there's always something in one of the stalls. It's it's just gonna be a cyber demon sitting in a damn stall.
Scare.
There's actually a good one in Alan Wake because you go out of the bathroom, you go into the bathroom. There's a whole little video you watch inside the bathroom, and then you come all the way out of the bathroom, and they don't trigger them until you're standing outside the bathroom. Mm-hmm. And so it's like just a millisecond long enough that you're like, oh yeah, nothing happened, and then he comes busting out of a stall like 3 stalls back. But that's the only good one I've ever seen in a video game.
I played the Batman Arkham VR.
Really? The VR?
Yeah, it's not very good, but it's terrifying near the end. There's a lot of jump scares, and you know the jump scares in like Arkham City and stuff. Yeah,
well, it's like a guy falls from he'll fall on like a rope or something in front of you, or like you'll deal with like the scarecrow and stuff.
Yeah. take all the worst jump scares that got you, like the fucking shark or the man bat jump scare or whatever, and then put it in VR. I'm good, man.
I've said before that I don't think I have it in me to play VR. One, because I get motion sickness, but two, like I will like screen lock when I'm really into something. And like with this, I'll just like the ward disappears outside of my headphones and outside the screen, and you stick that in VR, I will accidentally punch my kid. Like if she was to walk up to me like in the middle of those kind of sequence and like, hey dad, tap my leg, I'm swinging, man.
It's game over.
Yeah, and then I gotta go to court, man. I don't want to do this.
We can't afford that.
I can't afford this.
We'll just stick to Doom on console.
How can I explain to a judge that, Judge, I hit my kid, but it was by accident. I thought I was Batman fighting the Scarecrow.
Yeah, no, you don't understand. It was VR. Okay?
It was VR. I didn't think she was real.
Oh, okay, all charges are dropped. Go fuck yourself.
That's not how it works. But like, dude, this whole Bloodswamp region, for such an awesome looking sequence, it ends in my least favorite boss fight, I think, in Doom history.
It sucks.
Because one, from a like aesthetic point of view, it's not like a really cool looking boss. It's just eyeballs inside of cubes
that you've already been punching since the base game. It's not even a different looking cube.
No, it's literally like exactly the same cube that they throw in. I think you punch two of them in the Blood Swamp.
Yeah, to get to a certain spot or a secret. I think there is a secret. I think I wrote it down. At the beginning of there's a support room secret by these fire turrets. I think you have to push something down. I can't remember.
Oh, in the it's not in one of the towers, is it?
Yeah, it's that gated tower.
It's that gated tower. Yeah, I found that one.
But wasn't it rewarding when you did?
Oh, it was great. Like, dude,
that's what I love about the secrets. Is like they're challenging, but they're not going to make you just like throw your controller out the window.
There's a simple one in the first level where you just jump inside of there's a centerpiece to the room and there's a cage around it, and it doesn't look like you can get inside there, but if you come jumping in initially on the very first part that you enter the room, if you just double dash into it, you'll actually fall back there, and there was a like a one-up back there. And it's something simple, but it's just enough that it's like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah, casually you're going to miss it, but if you're like kind of, hell, you don't even have to really look for it. You just kind of look for it, and it'll just pop up.
Really, the only thing to find all these you have to do is just go to every corner of the room.
Yeah.
As long as you go to every corner and you check, 9 times out of 10 you're rewarded with something. And like sometimes it's the secret encounters, which I really freaking love, which are the the timed encounters. And then I think in the Blood Swamps, yes, it is the Blood Swamps, you have a Slayer Gate.
Yes, I love that Slayer Gate. That's the best part about the Blood Swamps is the Slayer Gate.
Dude, the Slayer Gate, and this one in particular throws a possessed Marauder at you.
It's the worst. I love it.
It's the worst, but like in here, I don't care about it being fair. When you do a Slayer Gate, and this is how I felt in the Doom Eternal. I was talking to Michael, co-host on the show, usually Michael, and he was getting through Eternal. He was really struggling, and he was dodging all the Slayer Gates. And I said, dude, the Slayer Gates are like, I want a playlist, and I can just start with the Slayer Gates and just play through them. Because at that point, it doesn't care about being fair. I don't care that you keep the game balanced inside the Slayer Gates. The Slayer Gates is literally just like, good luck, little buddy. Throw you in there. Let's see how we kill you. Like, I can see the devs sitting there the whole time being like, wouldn't it be really fucked up if we threw a possessed Marauder at him? Let's throw a possessed Marauder. Should we take all the other enemies away when you do it? Hell no.
Dude,
keep spawning them,
I'm telling you, part 2 is gonna blow your mind.
Me, man.
It's gonna blow your fucking mind.
So, okay, well, everybody remember, Eric died 68 times on part 1, and then when we do part 2, I'm just gonna sit here and be like, okay, this is my next number.
You before we go into the final map here, I do want to talk about a couple things about why I didn't like the Blood Swamps. And I guess what I did like about the Blood Swamps, which isn't a lot. So first thing, the Malagog, the boss battle.
Yeah.
I actually died so many times on my first run of this that I put it down for a month.
On that particular boss fight?
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
damn, I think it was the Hell Knight. Was it a Hell Knight that keeps just following you around? And he's like super fast. And you got the Pinky. And then you got the eye giving you some environmental damage. And then you got the flamethrowers. And it was a lot. So I had to downgrade the difficulty a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's a safe place here. We can talk about. Like I said, I am not swinging my dick around here on Doom. All right, like I did the same thing. I was like, shit, we're going to. But like the interesting fact about that is they rob you of the air and they rob you of the ground.
Yeah.
Because the Hell Knight's going to keep you from being able to just run away, and then the Pinkies are over there. You can't jump, so you're literally being robbed of all your verticality and your safety on the ground. It feels like you spend so much time waiting for the eyes to open.
Yeah.
And that I was just the whole time just dying to miscellaneous damage, because they also throw the shotgun guys.
I wasn't even dying to the boss itself.
No.
I was dying to the normal minions that were bothering me from focusing on the boss. And I don't know, I think I would have liked it a little bit better if the boss was not 2 eyeballs.
If he looked cool, it would justify.
If it was like a grand spectacle, really, to kind of justify the arena.
If you look back at the Icon of Sin fight, it's very similar.
So good.
Because the Icon of Sin fight is you're dealing with the Icon of Sin, but the bulk of the stuff that's really the threat is all the other demons chasing you. So you're fighting the Icon of Sin, run away, deal with the other demons. But because the Icon of Sin is such like an iconic moment, and he looks freaking badass, and he's right there in the whole scene, it makes it feel more epic. So dying by the demons fighting with you, it doesn't feel as bad. Here it's like, well, I'm fighting 2 eyeballs, man. Yeah. I killed the Icon of Sin with a sword. You tell me I can't,
Yeah, I guess that's another reason why it bothered me so much, is because I was still on the high of literally killing the Icon of Sin and stabbed him in the brain with the Crucible, which is why you don't have the Crucible. It's because it's embedded in the brain of the Icon of Sin, which is good continuity.
Yeah,
good stuff.
I
Great
appreciate
stuff.
that. I appreciate. Now, you've played part 2, but we get another fancy, cool melee weapon in part 2, because I've seen the trailer.
We do, yeah.
But we'll save that for a different time. Okay. Tell me what else. What else is going on in Blood Swamps? You got written down.
So this is a funny thing. Plant pod thing equals bad. I wrote that down.
You can't even shoot them to get rid of them.
Yeah, no, they just keep respawning over and over again. Giant tentacle thing is bad.
I have a soft spot for the giant tentacle, because every time they pop up, they get me. Like, I'll be in the water, and I know they're there. I mean, I know they're there.
You know what they do? They have, the little holes where they come out of.
Yeah.
When you notice it, you're like, okay, it's going to come out, and then it never does. So then you let your guard down. And then the next time, it's like, oh, surprise. And it gets you every time. I like that. You, like, slowly peek toward... It's the only time in the game I'm not running at full speed, because I'll be, like, slowly moving towards it with my double-barrel shotgun, waiting. Mm-hmm. And when it walks, it feels good. It's like, fuck you, freaking hentai tentacle. Not today, but, And it just keeps... But, I don't know, I think it bothered me in Blood Swamps, because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and it really doesn't add anything.
They literally throw a big... Like, I was kind of hoping that, like, maybe you would deal with, like... We never see what the thing is.
I know.
I was like, maybe in the Blood Swamps, you fight whatever's got these big tentacles. That would have been a really cool final boss.
If you put those eyeballs on a grotesque-looking Leviathan-type monster with those tentacles, and then the tentacles will, like, kind of fly around the outer rim.
Yeah, it's like...
that's a boss fight.
In the Lord of the Rings, when they go into the Mines of Moria, and they deal with the monster outside of the mines.
Yes.
Like, it would be like that. Like, if you have a fight there where you got to shoot the same 2 eyeballs and all that stuff, I'm okay with that. But instead of dealing with, just floating eyeballs, you're dealing with the creature that's been throwing these tentacles at you the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, man.
Well, there's also
completely different feelings on this whole level.
Well, they also did something in the base game. I forgot what the creature was called, but it had the eyeballs on the side, and it was like the floor was lava. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think what...
Churn bog? I don't know.
Yeah, it was... And see, I always took that was supposed to be like.
It wasn't even technically a boss battle.
No, it was
but
just
that
like
would have worked better as a boss battle for the Blood Swamps.
I think that would have been cooler than just the floating eyes. Because also they play up the tentacles so much. I mean, there's a sequence in which a giant one comes after you and you got to shoot it with rockets.
Right in the middle of the arena, too.
Yeah, so why not make that a part of the boss fight? I wonder if some of that's just timing, because this game did very, very well, but I imagine this DLC was in production way before the game was finished. So I wonder if they just didn't have the resources or something like that. But
well, I'm curious if COVID didn't have a thing to do with it. Because they probably couldn't have the same. Maybe they had to decrease the size of their development crews.
I wonder if it was
quarantining practices. They probably had to divvy it up that way.
Was it supposed to always be a part 1 and a part 2, or was it supposed to be one big thing? I wonder if that maybe is why it's split. I'm sure somewhere out there they explained it ahead of time, but I wonder if,
Honestly, my opinion is going to be a little more negative than that. They probably split it in two because more money.
Well, the season pass will get you both.
Oh, well, See, I don't buy season passes. I usually don't buy DLC. The last time I bought DLC before this game, and Call of Duty World at War.
That was some good DLC though, man.
Great DLC.
There was 5 or 6.
They gave you 5 multiplayer maps and then a zombie map, and the zombie maps to this day are legendary.
Dude, there's the multiplayer map that's basically a redo of the first mission in World of War, where it's like the Japanese village on the beach.
Making Atoll. Yes.
Dude, you run around there with a Thompson. We can do that today. Dude. We can freaking play this World of War today.
I actually have it on PC. I built this really expensive, nice new PC, and I only really use it to play old Doom and fucking Call of Duty World at War on. They still play online.
Dude, we have a whole podcast dedicated to old video games. I know the feeling. Do you know how often I've been sitting there and it's like, this game came out in 1994 and I'm playing this on my nice big 60-inch. I play Grim Fandango on a 60-inch TV. Yeah. Sometimes that's the best thing to do.
You would have never have done that back in the day.
No.
You have like a shitty, bulky TV that's...
It's a hell of... I talked to somebody recently where they were talking about like the E3 not being a thing last year, not probably happening this year. And I'm the guy who's sitting there the whole time at E3 watching the end of the press conference, all excited about oh shit, they're releasing freaking Stubbs the Zombie is coming out on Switch.
Thank God.
Republic Commando.
They're re-releasing Oblivion for another console?
Morrowind is on freaking Game Pass now, and I was looking at it a couple of days ago being like, dude, man, I never played that one.
I'm telling you, nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
It's a hell of a drug. It make you feel good, man. Make you feel good. My favorite thing about this whole process is when you finally do beat the 2 eyeball bosses, you finally get the option to pick between the Father and the Dark Lord.
And I wrote this here. I said, regarding Father Sphere, dope move.
My favorite thing is too, you think at this part Hayden be like, okay, I know how this is gonna go. He's gonna pick the fucking Dark Lord. He never listens to me. But the fact that he's the whole time being like, hey, what are you doing?
It's his only chance.
It's back here. It's back here. What are you walking past it for? No, you don't go near that one. You don't want anything to do with that one.
He was like, oh, you don't want to do that one. And then he's just like, but I do.
The Doom Slayer has more personality without saying a single word than a lot of freaking video game protagonists have that talk for 6 or 7 hours. We played Sleeping Dogs on the last series of games, and I was talking to you about how Emma Stone's in that thing. They paid fucking Emma Stone to be in that video game, and the Doom Slayer in this game has more personality than fucking Emma Stone did in that Sleeping Dogs game. And he don't say a single thing.
You know they paid a pretty penny.
Oh, dude, she made bank. She was in all the ads. I will not let that one go. I never will.
Honestly, it almost got me to buy Sleeping Dogs on launch, but something told me to. I just fell out of gaming for a while.
That was like peak Emma Stone, though.
I
It was peak Emma Stone.
was too busy watching all of her movies at that point.
You're like, oh yeah, she don't look like that in the video game. I ain't gonna buy you a sleeping dog.
It's just her voice. I can just play the movies on audio, put my headphones in if I
You
really
listen
need
to like the Easy A audio book.
There you go.
You know.
There you go.
I would please tell me there's like a novel adaptation. Remember, like,
I'm sure you could probably get like screenplay readings, but it probably won't be the actual like.
Nah, then it's like fake Emma Stone. I don't want to do that.
Fake Emma Stone.
Fake Emma, yeah, I mean,
You want the real
I
deal.
want legit Emma Stone, damn it.
Okay.
But back to
I love
Doom.
that.
This is all these shows are, is just segues and
It's so easy to get off topic.
yeah, it's easy to get off topic. We're sitting here when we select the Dark Lord, and my favorite thing is the moment he grabs the Dark Lord and Hayden's freaking out like, hey,
Like maybe not do
don't
that.
do this. When he goes and teleports back to the UAC ship that's been your kind of base of operations.
Everyone panicked except that one intern.
Who's
I
just
love
like-
that intern.
Well, my favorite thing is he's the only guy who has any faith in the Doomslayer.
Which is bonkers to me because like he just killed the Icon of Sin not even like 2 missions ago.
Well, he's the only guy who he looks at the Doomslayer and he goes, "Oh, okay."
But he
Clearly
knows
you're
exactly what his plan is.
Well, he's like, clearly you got to bring him back to kill him for good. So we're going to do that. Let's do that. And like up to this point, not once has the Doomslayer done anything pro demon. Why is it that everyone else assumes like, oh shit, he's here to help the demons take the Dark Lord, bring the Dark Lord back? And the intern guy's like, yeah, of course he wants to bring him back. You gotta kill him for good. Let's do this.
He's gonna stab him.
Everybody else like evacuates the ship. He's like, okay, let's do this.
He's got a big fucking gun and he's not afraid to use it on the Dark
Yeah.
Lord, okay? But he needs a physical body first.
Yeah, you just gotta. You can't kill something that's in a ball. We gotta freaking bring him back, and then we can kill him.
Yeah, because if it's kind of like the story, so it's not really a part 2. It's not really giving it away, but basically the whole idea is that killing killing Satan, I guess.
It's the Dark Lord.
The Dark Lord.
It's Satan.
It's Satan.
It's Bible 2.0.
Yeah, so if you kill the Dark Lord, basically all the demons outside of hell will be gone. They'll die, Avengers style.
Yeah, it's literally like everybody turns to dust.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ancient Gods Part 2 trailer has the Avengers in-game moment of like all the portals opening and those giant mechs.
Dude, it delivers, man.
I'm
not gonna say much else about part 2.
Don't say part 2. We would do a part 2. I mean, that's just
at this point we have to.
we ain't got a choice. We gotta do it.
But yeah, so he's gonna bring the Dark Lord back because he's like, no, fuck this guy especially. Got to kill him, and the only way to do that is if he has a physical body for me to stab. So yeah.
It's literally like, hey, I can't stab something ain't real. Let's get this done.
So now he has to go to, was it Urdak?
It goes to Urdak. The mission itself is called the Holt.
Okay.
The Urdak stuff in the original game was actually not something I was as into because I didn't like the Maker's enemies.
I still don't like him, to be honest.
I don't like them because, you're introduced to like a buffed up version of the Makers here. Where the regular Makers, at this point, you get so accustomed to just like one-shotting them with the precision bolt that it's like, I don't know why you're even here. A lot of times I will kill all the other enemies and have to go hunt them down to finish them off just to get out of the section. But the buffed up new version, the Blood Maker, is
the worst.
Because it's another enemy have to wait to kill.
It to me, it breaks up the whole fast-paced gameplay. That's why I don't really like the spirits too much. I like what they bring to it, but the whole idea of like, okay, here's the microwave beam, and you got to beam it, and then you're just kind of like waiting for that to blow up because it takes forever. But I understand because it's like forcing you to use different mods, different weapons.
It's the only time I ever used the microwave beam in Doom because I always use the overcharge for the plasma rifle.
It's a better mod.
Yeah, it's a better mod. I think maybe I heard somewhere, and take this for what it is, I might be wrong, but my understanding is that they looked at some of the attachments that players generally did not use, and that's some of the reasons why some of those attachments are more popular in the Ancient Gods, like the Precision Bolt and like the microwave, because generally I think like the micro missiles are usually what people use for the heavy rifle, and then the overcharge. I think I read that in an interview somewhere. Take that for a grain of salt. But I enjoyed that whole concept, and I like the concept of having to get rid of something before it empowers something else. Because boy, does it suck when it jumps into something else, and you're like, oh shit.
I let it happen once, and then I was like, never again.
Well, and sometimes also it'll jump into something worse.
Yeah.
Like you'll be in a fight, and it'll be like a pinky demon or something that is possessed, and then it'll jump into like the tyrant or the Cybele knight. The cyber demon. Yeah. Yeah. And you'll be, dude, when those things get possessed, you're just fucked.
Game over.
But yeah, trying to keep those things off there. But the Bloodmaker breaks that because you just spend so much time watching him, waiting for him to go into his little phase, and then you can one-shot him in the head and call it a day. But there's a secret encounter here where you have to fight one of those, a Marauder, and then there's like 2 zombies.
Did you complete it?
Yes, because I got very lucky on the second or third go around. He went into that phase right when I opened up the door, and I was able to shoot him right then and then deal with the Marauder. Twice I failed that because I killed everybody else, but I couldn't get to the last zombie in time. And you never have felt embarrassed or like demasculated than like desperately searching for one zombie. Like, please, I got a fucking rocket launcher. I will kill you. Just give me 1 second.
Now, what I did is I immediately went for the zombies. Okay, and as soon as I went for zombies, the Bloodmaker did his little thing, and then I zapped him with the precision bolt. Then I chainsawed one zombie, and then did the bolt for the other guy. And then at this point, here comes the Marauder, but ain't no one else around me. It's just me and him. So the classic combo, and I was done.
Do you think about like the fact that in Doom Eternal there was a moment when you introduce to the Marauder, there's a moment in which he shows up and it's a boss fight, and now he's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just a common thing.
Yeah, just throw the Marauder in there too,
Sprinkle him in there.
He had an entry into the franchise. There was a speech he made when he first showed up, and now it's just like
Just a guy.
Just throw a guy in there. You want to throw another imp in here? Nah, man, just throw a Marauder in there. Let's keep it a little bit interesting.
Well, I like the Marauders a lot. A lot of people didn't.
I still dig them. I think they're probably, to be honest with you, they're my favorite enemy type.
Because they're most like you. They're most like your game style. A lot of people was like, oh, it slows everything down. Yeah, maybe, but at the same time, it's just like it's like you're fighting yourself.
It makes sense, especially with the ending. We'll jump into the ending here for a second, but with the fact that the whole setup of this is dealing with like an evil version of you, it makes sense that Hell would have an evil version of the Doomslayer, because like all this lore that it talks about with the Night Sentinels and stuff like that, wouldn't Hell have their own version of those guys? And that's the Marauder. He's the guy who would be killing Night Sentinels. In the lore, it's like the Night Sentinels are these super badasses. Of course, they've got to have somebody who can kill the Night Sentinels, and that's the Marauder. That's what he does. And he's got a great design. McFarlane made an awesome action figure of him that I occasionally come across and try to buy on Amazon, but
I can't bring myself to do it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It went up. When it first came out, it was like $20, and I should have bought it then. But now it's like $40 or $50, and it's just like slightly too much to justify for me buying an action figure.
Yeah.
But dude,
I got all kinds of. Okay, I'm about to nerd out for that. I got all kinds of action figures. I got like a Joker from the Dark Knight in its box. I got animated series Batmobile.
Do you keep them in the box?
Yes.
I can't keep them in, if you go out there on my bookshelf, I got the ones that I buy, I rip those things open in a second, man. It's oh, freaking shit. This is a Kenny Omega action figure?
No, I have a couple that are open. I have a Shaun of the Dead figurine that I actually took out of the box. But because I took it out of the box, it broke.
Oh, see now.
So ever since then, I'm just like, all right.
Never again.
Well, it was a shelf that I kept right above my bed. And I think someone was playing around and they jumped on my bed and then their stray foot kicked his arm off.
It's like this Sean goes flying across the room.
It was like slow motion. I was like, no, Sean, but it's fine.
Fandom is a weird thing because you've never had to like control your angle being like a 26 or 27-year-old man and have somebody break something like that. Because like I had a similar thing when my kid knocked something over, and I like as a grown man I'm like shouldn't be that mad. Happens, little kid. But it's like the freaking nerd in me was like, motherfucker, do you know how hard it is to find this Moon Knight figure?
Do you know how expensive this
is
was?
a freaking cool Moon Knight figure, and now it's got no arm.
You know how much time I spent on this?
I freaking earned this Moon Knight figure. Back to the Holt stuff.
Yeah, so.
Dude, other than the blood maker stuff, I really do enjoy this level. There is a lot of environmental stuff, especially with the boss fight, where the floor is basically, like you said, lava.
Yeah, that's the worst part for me is I like the boss fight, but like you got the lasers going through, like it's like some Mission Impossible movie, and then you have the eyeballs running around, and then you have the worst possible demons by his side that goes in.
He gets everything. Like he gets.
And he teleports, and then he can hurt you, and holy crap.
Well, then
I
he
was
can bring
overwhelmed.
the eyes, the little eyeballs, like in the second phase of it when you're in like all the platforms are raised and they're all like electrified. He'll put those like little eyeballs inside those platforms, so you're just a lot of times they'll be behind you, you don't know it, and you'll take damage from them.
And it slows you down.
Yeah, which is worse.
Which
to be
is
honest
the
with
worst
you,
part.
is worse.
I don't mind that they hurt me, but they slow me down.
Well, like in the blood swamps, that's the problem with the plants.
Right.
Is because you get slowed down by those. And like a lot of times I'll take the damage.
And the purple goo. We don't talk about the purple
We're not
goo.
talking about the poop. That one I can't justify. I usually try to defend them, but that one's...
I don't like the purple
I don't
goo.
get why
I'm
that
so
was
glad
there.
that the base game, they use it very sparingly.
If you played... I mean, you've talked some Dead Space... There's the sections in Dead Space where Isaac walks like he's on his tiptoes. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, here, let's slow you down a little bit.
That's the worst.
That's fine in a horror game. It's not fine in Doom. I don't ever want to not be going fast.
The whole basis is you got to go fast or you'll die. So then they're like, okay, well, here's some floor that makes him go not fast. Dude's a god, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Doom Slayer is a god.
Surely this purple goo isn't going to stop him from going super fast.
I can see in the meeting why it made sense. If someone's like, hey, this whole game, people go fast. What happens if we threw something in them that makes them go slow? And someone's like, cool. That seems like a really cool idea.
It's a good balance idea.
But it just, it breaks what makes the game fun. Like, I want to feel like a freaking Superman.
Yeah.
And when you hit that stuff and it's like, okay, so goo can slow down a god? Like, he walks through hell, man. Like, he walks through hell fears this man, but purple goo is a problem.
Right. And, you know, the best thing about this mission, though, is, like, there's these moments, okay? So, like, there's two, like, main battles before you get to, like, the boss.
Yeah,
okay?
it's like,
So you got, like, the pinky.
Dude.
And it has all the blood punches. That felt like classic Doom for me. It had a gimmick. I liked it.
It was a gimmick, but dude, I thought it glitched on me because they keep coming. Like, don't get me wrong. That's actually the part that when I talk about getting nauseous, that was the part that got me nauseous.
Really? Is that all the blood punching?
It's all the blood punches and all the flashes, but like I say that like it's a bad thing. It's not, because dude, it feels freaking cool, especially when you're punching through like 7 or 8 of them at a time, and it's just like bam, 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 and you're just like repeat punching these demons, and they'll just keep coming. The only thing that bums me out about that fight is they throw the makers in there too, and then they throw a Mancubus at one point, and I didn't want to deal with them at the time. Like, just keep throwing. Like, you talk about it being a gimmick, and it is, and it's a cool one. But I just want just make it be a pure gimmick.
Yeah.
Let it be just me punching demons.
They do more of that in part 2 as well,
Okay,
which is really cool. It reminds me of like the tricks and traps level in classic Doom, where you walk in and it's just a bunch of barons and then a cyber demon. You're just like, and you have to press the switch behind the cyber demon. You just make them infight. Have you heard of infighting?
I have heard of infighting. I saw some last night while I was playing Doom 64. There's a moment in which... a
little bit of infighting action?
Well, I tricked a shotgun zombie into shotgunning another zombie. And it was just like, I wanted like a little achievement to pop up and just be like, pro gamer move.
Nice.
It felt so good. No, it didn't happen. That's what I wanted.
Well, Ancient Gods, I actually got someone to infight. Yeah.
I did not know that was even possible in Ancient Gods,
Yeah,
because I never saw it.
I got one of the soldiers pissed off at someone else. I think it was like a Mancubus, and he was just wailing on him.
Man.
And they were just like, he was like hitting him with his gun and all kinds of the melee attacks. And I was like, all right, that's interesting. But the way the ammo's set up, you don't have to infight. In the classic games, you can't just chainsaw them and get ammo, so you have to do some sort of combination of infighting to get through the really hard ones.
Well, especially when you start getting into like situation where there's a lot of open spaces, where like the infighting is also a way of keeping them from
kind of at bay, so that they don't get you to.
Y'all deal with each other over there, so I can deal with these guys.
I got this marauder over here. Y'all just kind of hang out over there. Yeah, it works out.
You cannot make an argument. Like, we talk about Doom 3 a little bit, and I'm jumping back for a second, but it's such a weird thing how they modernized the Doom feeling for these two games and then the DLC here. Because you talk about the infighting. Like, that's a mechanic it makes sense. Like, the moment I saw it in 64, when he shotguns the demon in front of him and kills him, and it's like, oh shit, it's just a small little thing, but it makes you feel more like you feel smart. You feel like you baited the system. I broke something.
Yeah.
And the fact that they still can make that same feeling today on these games, man, it just, the amount of care that went into these things is amazing. Because you see what went into the original games. Like, if you ever read the book Masters of Doom,
I have it on my nightstand.
I've got like 3 chapters I started in, but because this made me want to, dude. And freaking, like, the amount of care they put into this game when it came out the first time, you feel that same level of craftsmanship in these.
Yeah. 100%.
And that's like the thing that makes this is a single player game that is people are still playing through multiple times over and over again. That doesn't really happen now. Like, a lot of times you beat a game, you put it away, you go to the next one, especially with like the massive like release schedule and things like Game Pass, where you just always got something new. The fact that people are still sitting down like, oh, dude, man, check out, I finally beat it on Nightmare. Yeah. And, like, that's something that goes back to those old feelings of, like, on the Nintendo and Super Nintendo and stuff like that, where you were like, dude, I finally beat Mario. It took me 2 years.
Yeah.
But, like,
I still haven't beat Mario 64 to this day. I know.
We ain't gonna talk about that now.
I
know. I met people multiple times who have never beat Mario, like, without doing the warp jumps. And... like, I just realized, I think that the bulk of the people who played Mario never played, like, 4 through 5. Like, 1, 4, and 5 doesn't exist in most people's Mario experience. But, this whole section, man, with the whole halt leads up to basically us giving form to the Dark Lord.
Yeah.
And what do you want to talk about before we get there? Because we're about to get to the end here. Is there any other points you want to hit us up?
No, I think we're reaching the end of this DLC. I want to get your overall opinion of it.
Well, I'm gonna also do something too, because since you've played part 2, I want to try to take some guesses.
Oh.
All right. So, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this on recording, and then when we do part 2, we can see if Eric was right or not. Sure. We get to the ending here. We do the big fight with the Seraphim. Also, the father is able to talk to us in this section.
Yes, and the father also tells you, now's not the time to kill him, or don't kill him. You don't need to. Well, he just phases him away.
Yeah, he's just a servant. Like, yeah, it was almost like he was doing what he was supposed to do. Like, it feels a little bit like, don't blame him for doing what he was made to do.
Yeah, because the father obviously wants Urdak to be sealed off and everything, be hunky-dory for Urdak. So the Seraphim being his assistant and servant is probably well, I have the physical body. It's my job to stop this guy from doing this.
Yeah, it's like, of course he would do this. Like, yeah, and with the father having the voice that reminds you of Vega, because it's slightly distorted, but it's pretty much his
Vega.
Voice.
It's Vega. Yeah.
It gives you like that. You want to naturally kind of believe he's got the best interest at heart.
Well, he's all knowing.
Yeah, but But this is Doom though. Like when we got to Urdak the first time, and like this is the heaven equivalent, and they're all evil too, you know. So, you know, there's no positives here in Doom Ward.
Everything sucks.
Everything sucks except the Doom Slayer, and even then he'll pull you in your little rolling chair around. That's still my favorite thing is that we got to see
the key card.
Well, also I love seeing humans' perspectives on the Doomslayer. I'm a big Warhammer guy, and they always describe like how humans interact with the Space Marines in a similar way. Like the concept of like being in the presence of them is just they're like 8 foot tall, genetically modified monsters.
It's daunting.
Well, it's like if me and you were in the room with like the guy who played the Mountain on Game of Thrones, where it's like. This is just like a freaking man who could rip our head off and not even,
or
flinch.
Or Dwayne the Rock Johnson just shows up at your door.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit.
You know, funny story. I was actually at Sheetz.
Wait, funny story. The Rock was at your front door?
No.
Okay.
But I was at Sheetz and Shaquille O'Neal was there in Archdale.
Shaquille O'Neal was at Sheetz.
Yeah, he was getting gas. He was just passing through. It was right off 85. It was perfect, right?
Dude,
let me tell you something. That was daunting. Dude is very Did you? We're putting the Doom stuff to the side now. We gotta talk about Shaq. Did you go talk to him? Did you like say hi or something? No, not at all. I went in and got my drink and I left. I would have had to say something. Like, see, I felt like enough people were doing that for me. I didn't want to bother the guy. Okay, I met speaking of Archdale, Ric Flair was in the Speedway in Archdale one time. That's correct, yeah. And he's also known to frequent a Dollar General in the Boone area. Which is really weird that these are the places he's at. Yeah. But my dad was with me, and my dad was a wrestling fan back when Ric Flair was the man, and like. It was the only time I ever seen my dad like be excited about meeting someone or seeing somebody. Like my dad is like my dad I think is kind of a generation thing, or maybe it's just him. He never like got excited about anything. Like if a movie release that he cared about was coming, like it wasn't like, oh shit, we gotta go see this on opening weekend. He didn't care. We'll see it eventually. It'll hit Blockbuster eventually. We'll go see it when it hits Blockbuster. I remember Blockbuster. I love that. Yeah. But, like, he would never, was pumped about anything. But then Ric Flair was there. He was like, it's just Ric Flair. We got Rick. He called him Rick, which I thought was very unformal for, honestly hilarious. So. Yeah, but, like, Rick what would you call him? Ric Flair was really, really cool. He's like, yeah, woo. But it's weird. He just speaks in woos. He doesn't actually say words. If you're not in this area, Archdale is not, like, a big town. So the fact that like you have a Shaq story from Archdale and I have a Ric Flair story from Archdale. Yeah, I had a friend whose ex-girlfriend actually took a picture with him. Oh, well, really? Yeah, and she was a tiny little thing, and he is very, very, very big. He was on AEW recently, and like here he is with a bunch of like professional wrestlers who generally all 6'2", 6'3", and he just dwarfs. He was in the ring with Cody. I think Cody's like 6'1", and he just makes them look like children. Like it's scary big. I'm a fairly tall person, but like he's just scary big. Like and his hands, like they had him do like choke slams, and he wrap his hands around these guys' necks, and it goes around the back. Like you can see like him almost at their spine. Like usually you put your hand on somebody's neck, it stops at the front. Now he's like practically wrapping around the entire neck to pick these guys up. He's a big guy, man. It's funny, but okay, back to Doom. We're doing the thing again. So overall, what do you think about the DLC? Is it good? Is it mediocre? Is it bad? I liked it a lot. I think it's better than Eternal. What? Yes. No, why? Because here's my reason. Yeah, you need to back for that up. Eternal was. It had a lot of these badass moments, but I was sitting back and trying to remember like particular missions in Eternal, and there's about 3 or 4 of them in particular that really stuck with me. Mm-hmm. Here, say what you want about the blood swamps, but it made us remember it. It made me remember it, and I had that feeling I had at those 4 or 5 particular fights in Eternal.
the entire time through the Ancient Gods. Now, you couldn't have done that from the get-go. You had to teach me how to deal with these fights. Like, you can't take somebody who's never played Eternal and stick them in here. It's just they're gonna get demolished. Like, you have to have an entire game to train you on how to deal with this problem. But dude, once you are like a master, like this is like, okay, you're a master at Doom now. Now it's time to kick you in the face. You know, it's like in UFC. It's like you've won all the local fights and you beat people up in backyards. Now it's time to throw you in there with Conor McGregor and let him punch you.
There you go.
Like, that's what this is. And from a story perspective,
really fleshes a lot of things out.
It fleshes out stuff like the Father. It fleshes out the Makers. Eternal is entirely focused, as it should be, on like the dealing with hell stuff. Mm-hmm. And so here being like, let's really deal with the other side of the coin here. And it is classic Doom logic and Doom guy logic to be like, the easiest way to fix this is to kill this Dark Lord. So let's bring the Dark Lord back so I can fucking murder him.
What a baller move. Like, the confidence you need to have. All right, we're going to resurrect the Dark Lord, and don't worry, I will kill him.
Yeah, it's not a problem. It's not like it's not going to happen. Because if it doesn't happen, things are going to be really bad. No, it's not going to happen. Going into my weird theories, because we get the Avengers moments in the trailer. Remember when you meet the Fallen? It's the Night Sentinel guy in Eternal that you meet. And he's in hell, and he's just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to play a big role in all of this. I'm assuming he shows back up in the Ancient Gods Part 2.
We will find out next
We will find
episode.
out. Okay. Okay. Here's my 3 theories.
You got to write them down.
Okay.
Obviously, I can't really say if you're right or not.
Yeah. Fallen pops back up and plays a role in the big siege with the Dark Lord. Part 2 of my theory. Doom Guy says one cool line. Is this?
We'll find out.
Doom Guy says one thing. Preferably something like a one-liner at the end of the game. Is this dumb? Yes. Does Eric want this to happen? Yes. And then,
you sure you didn't play it? I'm kidding.
It's just like, yeah, Doom Guy says, I'm here to finish the fight. And then it cuts to black.
That'd be so bad.
Dude, I had that.
Doom Guy says, go back to hell, or something stupid.
Oh, I'll see you in hell. Or go. No, it would just be go to hell.
Yeah, that'd be the worst.
He's about to kill the Dark Lord. The Dark Lord says some line like, don't you know what you're doing? And he just goes, go to hell. And then it cuts.
I think I would literally vomit all over my floor if that happened.
Dude, I would have a seizure, I think. I would be so happy. Because if you're going to be corny, be real corny, man.
Well, yeah, if you're going to do the whole rip and tear thing, you got to go all in.
Everybody made fun of the rip and tear thing, but I still think that's one of the cooler lines. If you made a T-shirt that just says "rip and tear," you could never wear it in public. But
sure you can,
dude. Have you ever seen like the weird like Hittite T-shirts they make, where it's like here's just the anime girl with an orgasm face, and it's like, where do you wear this shirt?
I can't think of a single moment where it's like socially acceptable.
It would have to be in like. That would just have to be your
it's your sleeping
convention shirt.
It's your sleeping shirt, and you have to change when you have people come over.
But then it was like you have to bury it somewhere. Like you can't like run the risk of somebody walking by your hamper and being like, "Oh shit, what's this?" You know, you have to like put it under your mattress.
What friends you have that just check out your hamper?
You never check out people's hampers.
It tells a lot about a man.
I knew a kid who. This is getting into some like old Eric lore. I knew a kid who at like a friend's like birthday party one time like went digging through his hamper at one point to try to find something. I forget what it was, but we walked in on him doing it.
My worst nightmare.
And it was just like this weird moment of like, what the fuck you like? Even at like 14, it was just like, this is the most fucked up thing I've ever seen in my life. What's wrong with you,
fellas? I gotta say, that's some of the most fucked up shit.
Like, I would never show my face again if I was that kid. But he was like, hey, it's just a thing I do, man.
You live, you learn. Okay, you keep.
All right, so Fallen pops up. Fallen pops up. Doom Guy says one line, preferably see you in hell. And then, we get some Doom 64 stuff where you fight beside other Space Marines and shit. Because in Doom 64, those times where like you deal with like here's friendly guys here. Like at the beginning of it, there's like a whole cutscene that they play, and it slowly pans to like the top of the mountain, and it says Doom.
Yeah, that's a cool
It's like
cutscene.
I could see them referencing that because Doom 64 plays really hard into like Doom and Doom Eternal. You know, even with the special weapon being the weapon from Doom 64. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that we get some friendly Space Marines. I'm gonna put friends here. All right. So when Eric plays this.
Friends.
These are my 3 theories. Are they the most exciting ones? Maybe. Am I hoping that he says go to hell? Yes. So anything else to close out our ancient gods, other than the fact that we're gonna have? I'm gonna go ahead and volunteer you for a second part. We gotta do part 2.
Yeah, man. I'm down for that. I got some more interesting stuff about Doom 64 as well that I didn't share this time, but I'll share next time.
Does it play into the part 2 part?
I can make it play into
Okay, we'll make it play into part 2. But it was good, man. Thank you for being on the show, man.
Dude, thanks for having me. It was awesome.
You got anything you want to plug? Now's the plug time.
Plug time. Sure. I have a buddy, Gil, and we're gonna be doing a podcast ourselves called Where You Be.
Where you be?
Where you be. So wherever you may be, when we put it up, I think it'll probably be on Stitcher, Anchor. I think you suggested Anchor.
If you use Anchor, it'll be everywhere. Like you have that thing on iTunes. I mean, some could say that there's an ad that says Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast, but I don't know if you would trust those guys who've been pimping out the Anchor for a little while.
Yeah, I feel like you were those guys. So maybe I'll check out Anchor, and then we'll get it out there to these good people. And if you like my quips, I do those there too.
Yeah, I mean, and
Let's
definitely
talk about everything.
When you launch it, let me know. We'll advertise it. We'll tell everybody on the show, and then we'll also put it in the show notes. We'll put a link to it.
Oh, you're too kind.
We're kind people, man. We're high quality people over here at Stay of the Save. Don't tell nobody though, because then they'll get mad. Man, it was a good show. Thank you for coming by. As always, it's time for us to plug our own stuff now. stateofthesave@gmail.com or stateofsave if you're an OG who wants to go to the old email address. You can send your email address, all your emails there. You can tell us how wrong we are, how filthy casuals we are at Doom.
I'm expecting those emails.
Oh,
I'd like to maybe get copied if you could.
I'll forward them to you. Here's what we'll do. We'll issue a joint statement on the emails. Depending on how bad it gets, we might have to do a second show where it's just apology show. Me and you being like, dear State of the Save community, we do apologize for our opinions. And just link to like all the pro gamers that have like their feelings on the matter. It's like Doom Killer 666 says that we're a bunch of fucking casuals. You can follow him at YouTube to get real view. We'll just do all that.
We are filthy casuals.
We are filthy casuals, but that's okay. Thank you guys for coming and joining us. We will be back next week with State of the Save Republic Commando. It's a one shot with me and Michael. And then we'll be kicking in. Expect a lot more of these broken Foul Corrupted shows. Foul Corrupted. As we go along. And once again, thank you guys for listening. Stay safe out there.